Hey guys, it's your girl Boonie, and you're listening to episode 104 of the Boonie Breakdown Podcast, your source for all things responsible and ratchet. Happy Monday, guys. It's a new week, a new month. Yeah, it's a new month for us. Welcome to this week's episode of the Boonie Breakdown Podcast. I'm excited for my guest because it is a new guest and we get really ratchet. And normally, I would have had her on after the Philadelphia live show, but I felt, you know what? Some people might still be on the fence about coming to Philadelphia for the live show. You might not know who Erica is, and I've been advertising her um, on the flyer and on my posts and social media. So I said, let me introduce Erica to the audience while there's still time to get some tickets. All right, so this week's guest is Erica of the Browngirl Experience. She's here. You get a taste of how she is. After recording this episode, I gotta say I'm really excited for the dynamic that's gonna be on the stage in Philly with Brian, with Erica, and myself. She's not afraid to go there, which is great. And it is also nice that we'll have somebody else to go to bat with me against Brian because we know how he can be. So for as responsible as last week's episode was, this episode is just as ratchet. It's all about balance here on the Boonie Breakdown. So yes, so stick around for the conversation and a chance to get to know Erica a little later. All right. I was all prepared this week for pick of the week. I was really prepared. I just knew I was going to make the pick of the week the Black Girl Sketch Show. Is that what it's called? The Black Lady Sketch Show? Unfortunately, I think this might be the first time ever on the Boonie Breakdown where I'm saying this is the pick of the week. No, don't. Well, yes, do, but I'm curious because I'm seeing no in between in the comments. I watched the show, was excited to watch the show, seeing the previews for the show. Like, yes, this is going to be so dope. All these dope ass black women running the show, and it's all black women, and they have all these cameos of other black women celebrities. I don't know what the fuck I watched. I did not laugh at any time during the show, the entire 30-minute show. It was actually it felt very awkward watching it because I just don't know I just don't know. I really don't know. And I went to I went to Twitter and I just tweeted like, so thoughts, because I really didn't know what I sat through. And someone said I didn't laugh, but I was entertained, if that makes sense. Like nothing made me audibly giggle, but I liked the concepts they were introducing. Okay, fair enough. Someone else said I smiled throughout the episode because I respect the women that came across the screen. I did not laugh. I'm going to give it another try. The sketches seemed underdeveloped. And someone else just wrote back, yikes. Someone else said the shit is horrible. So, but I've also saw a few people who said they loved it. No one responded to me that way. Unfortunately, I can't say I loved it. I guess I'm going to give it one more try, but that shit was really fucking terrible. I really, and I'm trying to gauge too. No, it was bad. I'm not going to make up for it. The shit was bad. Because I was just trying to say, were my expectations too high? Because I was really excited about the show. So then when I watched it, it was just like womp, womp, womp. But no, it was pretty horrific. And I'm more confused with the people who said they laughed and found it funny. I might watch it again just to see did I miss something? What were they laughing at? Because I did not see it. So, unfortunately, I was not prepared to have another pick of the week. So this one is Boonie's no pick of the week. That's all I got. I just was not prepared. I just knew it was going to be, I was going to come on here and say glowing things about them. But whoo, child, yeah, I'm really just, after watching it, I'm just kind of like, bring back fucking Insecure, because this ain't going to be it. I can already tell. So, yeah. All right. Let me guys know. tweet me, DM me, let me know if I'm off base here. I know I'm not, because a lot of people said they didn't find it funny, but let me know if anyone out there who really, really enjoyed it and you're listening to it, let me know why. What scene in particular was funny to you? Because I don't know. Yeah, that's all I got. So housekeeping. I'm sorry. I really am upset about that show right now. So yeah. But we're gonna move into housekeeping this week. Feedback from episode 103 with Brian. It was really great. I thought a lot of you guys were shocked because Brian and I did not talk about dicks and pussies, and it was not ratchet at all. We had fun and we talked about our city that we love and some of its problems and some of the things that make it amazing. But we definitely did a big up for Baltimore last week. One of the things I got back was like, Boonie, I just listened to the most recent episode about 45's comments on Baltimore. It was very insightful. So that was from someone who lives up in New York. So I was curious about how the episode was going to translate for people who aren't from Baltimore, who've never lived in Baltimore, who don't currently live in Baltimore, or who've never even been to Baltimore. But I was happy to see that a lot of you guys liked the episode, and a lot of you guys were just really shocked that Brian could be serious on something. He had been begging me to let him do an episode where he was not ratchet. And so the opportunity presented itself, and bam, you guys see there is another side to Brian. Also, as I mentioned, we talk about it later in the episode, but just an update, Boonie Live. We're 7 days out. So this Saturday, August 10th, first show on the road, Philadelphia. There are some tickets left. Help me sell it out, guys. If you're on the fence, I promise you, after you listen to this, because you guys already know Brian, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm in Jersey. I'm just going to drive over the bridge. I'm in New York. I'm going to catch the bus down to Philly, and we're going to come to the show and have a good time. As you guys know, first drink is on me. Goodie bag, giveaways, and just a lot of ratchet laughs. So link in the show notes or head to thebooniebreakdown.com/live to get your tickets to that. Also, reviews. You guys have been doing bomb.com on leaving reviews for the Boonie Breakdown. Of course, you can leave those reviews on our Facebook page. That's the easiest way for some people if they do not listen on Apple devices. If you do listen on the Apple device, you can head on over to the Purple app and leave a review. Hit those 5 stars. And we got a really good one this week. It said, where has this podcast been all my life? I found out about the Boonie Breakdown via Instagram. I started listening last season and had to go back and catch up. Most guests are very interesting, and I definitely love the topics. I followed the Boonie Breakdown on Instagram, and I love Would You Rather Wednesday. Take a listen. You won't be disappointed. And this is TESS99. So thank you for your 5-star review. And again, head on over. If you listen on an iPad, iPhone, iPod, MacBook, you can go into the Purple app or on iTunes, hit 5 stars, and leave a great review. And as always, you can also follow us, just like TESS99 does. Follow us on Instagram at The Boonie Breakdown. You can follow us on Facebook at The Boonie Breakdown. On Twitter, we're just Boonie Breakdown. And when sharing this episode, please use the hashtag The Boonie Breakdown or the hashtag PODIN, PODIN. I love it when you guys share in Insta stories. It's so quick and easy. And of course, if you listen to the podcast on Spotify, you can just share. This is bomb if you do this for me. If you could just share from Spotify, you go to share. It says that the Instagram stories option, you hit that. It will put it in your Insta story and people can just click it and go right to the episode. Whether they have Spotify or not, it is free to listen to podcasts on Spotify. So if you do that, that's like 5 golden stars from Boonie to you. So that is it for me, guys. So let's get ready to break it down. All right, guys, it's your girl Boonie, and this week I'm really excited. Last week's episode, I had Brian on, and much to you guys' surprise, we did a little bit of a responsible episode. So this week, I want to welcome Erica of the Browngirl experience to the Boonie Breakdown. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl, what's going on?
Nothing. I'm excited for you to be here. I'm hoping that we can deliver a ratchet episode.
Well, I'm definitely not going to be responsible because on my way home from work, I already smoked a joint. So,
Oh, yes, let's do
yeah.
it.
So, let's go.
If you have not figured it out yet, if you skipped my intro in the beginning, Erica is our guest for the Boonie Breakdown Live in Philadelphia on Saturday, August 10th. So I'm really excited because I know some people, sometimes y'all be real territorial. And when I introduce new people to the scene, y'all get real funny action sometimes. So I said, you know what? How about this? I'll do something different. Instead of having Erica come on after the live show, we'll have her come on before. So
surprise.
And hopefully you'll listen to this and you'll be like, you know what? Let me go ahead and scoop up one of them last 20 tickets this live. Because I know niggas be last minute and late with y'all ticket purchases. That's the one thing that drives me crazy about doing events sometimes, is because people really do wait to the last minute. And people need capital. Like sometimes you got to buy these tickets early so people have the money to do the event.
Girl, who you telling? I had to bootstrap a whole event and I was giving tickets away and people still waited to the last minute to get tickets.
Still, and you would think like now I'm kind of used to it, so like I'm better prepared for it, but it drives you crazy when you're planning because you're like, all right, you're trying to do things in advance. Like
Right.
I don't want to be last minute planning. So like, should I get 20 of these? Am I getting 50 of this? Like, what am I buying? I don't know. So, and then you buy too much. It's just too much. So we have to do better with ticket sales.
Y'all hear her? Do better. Y'all hear that? It's a gem right there. Do better.
Right? And it's not just like my event, everybody's event. It's like the same complaint. Like people just wait to the last minute. So I know I'll be guilty of it sometimes, but I'm gonna do better myself too.
All right, I was last minute to get my Mary J. Blige ticket, so I get it. Good girl. I'll do better too with you.
So I want to get right into it.
Okay.
I saw this meme going around, and I love a good meme. Even though it's one of my worst fears is to actually be a meme. Like I never want to become a meme unless it's like a funny one, like the girl who was bent over squatting and looking, like unless it's something like that.
Right.
But like if the meme is making fun of me, I can't live like that.
Bitch, I'm too sensitive.
Yeah, I couldn't live.
I'm shutting the whole internet down.
So I saw this tweet. It wasn't a meme. It was actually a tweet. And the girl was like, no nigga has all 8. Number 1, good dick.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, communication skills.
Mm.
Number 3, 0 hoes. Number 4, a height over 5'9". Number 5, the ability to display emotion. Number 6, energy for round 2.
Girl.
Number 7, cooking skills. And number 8, information on where the clit is.
So can we go back to the 5'9" shit? Can we go back there?
Let's start there. We're gonna start with this one. Number 4, a height over 5'9".
So all right, I'm a tall girl. So I'm roughly, in my head, I'm a tall girl. So I'm roughly 5'7" and everything. And you know, I'm out in these mean dating streets, and it seems like every man that is 5'5" and below wants to be the one to go ahead and get me to ride their ride.
Okay.
So, hey guys, this is a gem for you fellas that's under 5'9". The tall girls don't want you.
Oh no.
We don't. We try to say that we do because it's politically correct, but we really don't. We really, really want that tall man that the short women keep snatching up. Hey, short girls, stop it.
You know, I always laugh at that because I know people who are like 5'4" and below, and they're always like, I can't date no short guy. And I'm like, if a guy is shorter than you, then I mean, you can date somebody who's 5'7" because he's taller than you.
Yes.
You absolutely can do it.
Yes, my mom was one of those selfish heifers. She's only 4'11", but my dad was 6'7".
Oh my God.
Yeah, selfish.
That's
hey,
insane. Oh my God, 4'11" and 6'7".
Yeah.
And I usually don't like tall guys are nice. I'm usually, as long as you're taller than me, is
Oh,
my
you
thing.
good. Oh,
I'm
you good.
5'7" too.
Okay.
So a 6-footer would be nice or above. But
Okay.
usually I'm at the I guess right now, I guess he's like 5'11", 6 feet. He probably 5'11". I'll give him the inch. He might be 6 feet. But
He's
yeah,
six. He's 6'1" with Tim's on.
but yeah, I've definitely dated somebody like when my hair is natural and out in my fro.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely taller than them with the hair.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I don't wear heels like that, so I never run that gambit. With a UGG, I definitely was taller, even with a UGG.
Come on, and he ain't 5'11", girl.
No, that one he was definitely like 5'7". He
Oh, okay,
definitely
okay. I was like, not with a UGG. Mm-mm. Don't lie to us. Mm-mm.
with the UGG and the fro, it was a wrap. It was curtains for him.
Yeah,
So,
and it could be me. Maybe I'm just not confident enough to date a short man.
well, let me tell you this. Okay, so for me, short would be like 5'6", 5'5". I'm not even gonna say I've done it. I haven't.
Yeah,
I definitely haven't.
looking at my dating resume, I have not dated a man under 6 foot since I was in junior high.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw this out to you. So she's saying none of them have all 8. So if it's a guy, he has good dick, he can communicate, he don't got no hoes, he got energy from round 2, but he 5'6". It's a no?
I wouldn't know if he had good dick because I wouldn't have seen him. I'd have looked right over him. I could have been missing out on the most magnificent orgasmic experiences because they are in the dick of a man that is shorter than me.
Damn. So
Do you know how hard that hit?
they get no play?
Yeah, I don't even see them. Like I would see them enough to recommend them to somebody else who is shorter.
Alright. So guys, make sure you're 6 feet or taller when you
Yeah.
approach
And when I say it out loud, it sounds like I ain't shit. It's like, bitch, that's why you're
us.
single.
I'm not
But
judging. We don't judge here at the Boonie Breakdown.
I'm just like, God knows my heart, and He knows what I need.
So like,
Therefore,
you need the 6 foot or taller.
He'll put it in the total package.
Okay, so we already know number 4, the height is a requirement for you. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna go back up to number 1. Could you bend on good dick? Or let me start back first. Let's back up. What is good dick to you? Because I've asked other people this on the podcast. So what is good dick?
So, okay. I honestly don't think, all right. So, anybody who doesn't know, I'm in my 40s. I don't think good dick is the actual dick itself.
Okay.
I
I'm
I
listening.
honestly think it is all about the chemistry that you have with the person that can make that dick amazing, and that person's ability to want to know how to please you. Like I've had men that had 12-inch dicks and sex was okay. I've had a man with a 7-inch dick, which I think that's average in the U.S. Right?
Mhm. Is
And the
that
sex was all right. I've had a dude with a 5.5-inch dick that gave me the best orgasms I've ever had with
how?
with his dick. I
Really?
think because
That's what I was gonna ask.
because he was the first time I had like vaginal orgasms and everything. I don't know if it's because it was 5.5 and girthy and had a slight curve, so every time he hit, he was hitting straight
Well,
G spot.
yeah, girth makes a difference. Girth.
And he filled the hole up. It was hitting straight G spot. The first time I had the vaginal orgasm was from a little dick, and I will be honest with you, I almost wanted to pay this man's mortgage.
Oh, damn.
As a whole different orgasm than like oral and everything like that. Like I was like I could have stalked him.
So okay, so now I'm going back to the first topic. So was he 6 feet tall with a 5-inch penis?
He was definitely 6'6",
Six
maybe
six.
6'5".
That visual, I'm chuckling, but you just gave him the stamp of approval.
Yeah, and well, I'll be honest with you. Since we're being honest, let's be transparent. The dick surprised me. the size of it. It
Like, weren't
definitely,
you a little like when he took his pants down? You were a little like, mm.
yeah, because it wasn't even like 100% hard yet, so I thought he was just like a grower. And
Okay.
so, I put it in my mouth and everything, and I was like, yo, this is as big as this is gonna get. And then I was disappointed in my head. I'm like, fuck. I was like, dick's already in your mouth. He already ate you out. Like, I'm gonna have to move forward with something at this point.
Gonna have
Uh,
to move forward.
yeah, and I was like, and like, I'm not gonna fake it. At the age that we're at, we shouldn't. Like, hey, girls, if you're over 19, you shouldn't be faking it anyway. Under 19, you
Never,
still don't know what a real
never,
orgasm is yet.
never.
But I was just so surprised, and I was like, all right. I was like, we just gonna go ahead and let him get his nut off. And I really contemplated just giving him head and swallowing it, because I was like, that way it's done, and he won't need the pussy because he already had the nut.
Mm.
But he was not there for just getting head. He wanted the pussy. And so I gave it to him. So in my head, I was like, all right, this is a pity fuck. If there's no orgasm, it doesn't count towards my numbers. And then he went ahead and just blew my whole entire world apart.
Oh.
But all the stuff that would have told me he had a little dick, he didn't have. Like, his hands were big and fingers were long, forearm, his feet, everything about him was big except his dick.
Well, God ran out of material there.
Yeah, must have.
Because 6'7" is a big ass nigga. So yeah, God just ran out of a little bit of material.
Yeah.
I would agree with your original statement in saying that it is more than just the penis itself. I've always said, like, my meter is like, if I can close my eyes, visualize it, and I feel the feels, then to me that is, if I can have like a flashback and the whole body reacts to the flashback,
Mm-hmm.
then that's my qualifier. I also think sometimes people get really caught up in the idea of sex only being when a penis goes into a vagina, and it can be a little bit more than that. And so the totality of the experience for me is when I say that. And I'm circling back because I was Googling and I was trying to find a semi-credible source for the average penis size. And this says the average man is about 3.7 inches soft, and the average penis is about 5.2 inches in length when erect.
I'm here looking at my middle finger.
And
And
pretty much the girth is about 4.6 inches is the average girth. That seems wide.
yeah, I'm just trying to think. Like, so math ain't my ministry, but I'm just trying to.
How the penis is long is as wide as it is long? That can't be. That gotta be.
Yeah, that seems like a brick.
Okay, let me scroll back. I'm gonna keep scrolling.
That's
Okay,
a plug for real.
Austria, Italy. This is interesting. This is saying that Poland reported the biggest perceived average penis length was 6.1. Austria, Italy, Germany, and United States were 6.14. Now, this is some bullshit because I would assume Ghana would be number one.
Yeah, and I think
In this study.
a study I seen before, I think Jamaica was high up there too.
Yeah. I don't believe this. Is 9 inches a good size? Someone Googled that. So yes, but the majority says about 5 point something is the average length of an erect penis.
But I think it really depends on if he is accepting that he has, like, to me, a lower than average penis. I mean, that at that point he should already know how to use it.
Yeah, because that's how I've always said. Like, when people are like, "Oh God, he has a small penis," I'm like, "Well, he probably already knows he has a small penis. Like, he's probably played sports. He's been in locker rooms, etc., etc." Some girl
Seeing
might have
porn.
seen porn. Some girl might have been like, "That's why your dick little." Like,
Yeah.
so he already knows, and I feel like, in your experience, that guy probably knew. Somebody told him, and he was like, "You know what? I'm gonna be the best damn fucker with my 5-inch penis," and he
Yes.
learned how to do it.
and he knows his positions, because that's
Exactly.
also key. Like, you can't do every position. You know, I'm a big girl. I got a belly, so you can't do every position. Therefore, you got to know what you're doing with it, and he did.
That's great. And that's the other thing too that I think you just said that it goes back to always saying like you just can't be a one trick pony essentially, right? Like what you might do for Erica ain't gonna work for me, right?
Exactly.
You gotta be able to stay in the game. If you are always like stuck, like, oh God, this is all I can do because you fearful the dick gonna slip out, whatever, whatever, you might you might have to switch it up because I got a big ass. So if you try to hit from behind with a little penis, we're gonna have problems.
Yep.
But then on the other side, I feel like men with small penises, should also be more open to being more adventurous and using toys and or props, right? Because like the wedges and all that stuff could help more. It could help you look.
Ooh, you're right. It helps with angles and everything. Toys altogether help with a lot of different things too.
People, men be mad afraid, and I just don't understand why.
How old are these men that are mad afraid?
I would probably say 30s, 40s.
Really?
Yeah, I just feel like you got to get over it.
Yeah, at that point, hey, dude, you only got another 15 good years before you start worrying
Well,
about that blue pill.
we learned here on the Boonie Breakdown that by age 40, 40% of men have experienced erectile dysfunction.
Oh yeah, then they need to make sure that they already invested in the toy game. But don't come to me with your own toys though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because in my head, like, yo, who else been using these toys? Like, I don't want the toys that already been in somebody else's pussy. Like, I would
I,
dry up faster than anything else. Like, wait a minute.
I have never thought about that. Like, have you had that happen to you?
This guy that I knew, he sold toys and everything. And the first time he brought toys, I was in my 20s. First time he brought them to me, I was like, hold up, Jack. And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Where the fuck these come from?" And then he's like, "Oh, I sell them." So who? Like, I ain't never seen a bitch buy sex toys from a man. And again, I was in my 20s. I was fresh in the game. I didn't know no better. But I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Like everything he tried to use on me, like I would just clench up, and I was completely turned off. Because in my head, I was like, he done ran this through all these bitches, and I just can't
Oh,
be another
wow.
one.
I know. Wow, men are so simple.
Like,
Like,
how do you clean them? Like, I didn't know any
you
of
know,
that
you don't
stuff.
clean them. Guys don't like to clean their apartments, so
Give me a
you ain't
whole,
gonna use this.
exactly, give me a whole yeast infection just because you don't clean your toys proper.
I never even thought about. I never, because I do. Yeah, I have my own collection.
Yeah,
We will use these. I know they have been cleaned thoroughly. But I never even thought about that. Because even when you think about that now too, with the guys who use like cock rings and all that stuff, that's been on another girl too.
yeah. Like, how many pushes that pushed up against? Nope. I have my
Oh
own stuff,
god.
and like for the cock rings and everything, like let's go out and buy new ones. Because I already know the one that I have in my little box, it's been used. Do you really want another man's dick? Like, I clean mine thoroughly, but
Me
if
too.
I was a dude, I'd be like, yo, another man's dick juice been on this. Like,
That's that is one thing that I toss out after the that ship has sailed. I just toss those. Um, so I think the other one, I think it was number 6, it said energy for round 2.
So,
I'm gonna let you take this one first.
okay. I don't always need round two. Let me tell you why. If you do well enough on round one, and you give me a really, really good, because I come multiple times and everything.
Okay.
It's real easy for me to come multiple times. So if in our one session, if you can get me with 3 nuts, I'm good. So I
3
don't
nuts
need
in
round
one
two.
session. Woo!
Yeah. And like, I don't have to be, no, we don't have to do this for 45 minutes to an hour. No, 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 no. Be efficient, you
So
know? And then when I say the 45 minutes to an hour, I mean like straight fucking. Like, I need the whole experience to get me to where I have to be. And, that's the foreplay, that's the teasing, that's everything. Like, I don't need to be there all night.
I'm clapping because I think too, like it can start to hurt after a while, like,
Yeah.
like all the friction and the pounding and slapping, like that can hurt. So let's be efficient. I agree with that. It depends on who I'm with.
Okay.
Like you said, sometimes if you can just get in and get out and get the job done, I'm probably gonna want it again just because I liked it.
So I
and
have
it's
a,
not and it's not that I'm not satisfied. It's just that
it's
I'm
good.
overindulgent. Yeah, and
So
I.
I have a follow up for you.
Mhm.
So you'll take the round two and everything. So do you have as strong an orgasm the second time after you've already bust a few times?
It's probably stronger in round two.
Really
Yeah, yeah,
nice.
and I don't know about for him. and
But we're
it's
talking to
funny.
us girls right now.
Yeah, but I will say it was only really one person who I could consistently do that with.
Hmm.
And I think we just have really good energy between each other with each other,
Okay.
and he had really good stamina. So he really would be like, all right, give me 15. I'm like, all right, I get 15 minutes, niggas, come
Right,
on.
right. And I'm trying to think if I ever tried to get around. Yes.
Yeah, no, he was a delight.
I I do recall trying to get around to because we went to sleep and I woke up probably like an hour and a half later and I gave him head to get back up because I still wanted it.
Yeah, see,
I
and
forgot about that.
it's not something all the time, but every now and then, yeah, I could definitely. Now, it was one person I remember in particular. Um, Never ever needed it, never ever did it. Couldn't even if I wanted to. I was so weak afterwards. Like that was the in and out. Yeah, the
Mm.
experience there. Like I would just be like, okay, I'm going to sleep. Like I would have to literally be like, he like, nope, get up, go pee, because I would literally be like, all right, good night.
Yo,
I'm in a coma
that
now.
that must have pumped his ego up big
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Can-
And to your point, you just said the guy was like 6'7". This was the tiniest guy on earth. I'm a big girl, the tiniest guy on earth, and it was a hammer. Like, Lord have mercy. I remember the first time I saw him naked, and I was like,
what
oh
are you
my
gonna do
damn,
with that other
like,
leg?
oh my damn,
So I heard that that's the
yeah,
thing. That's what happens. Like these very small, petite men have the
hammers,
hammer.
hammers. I was like, oh my, I did like a little string there because I was like, oh, this is what I've been missing out because I normally like a little football nigga, thick neck, thick thighs and
Hmm.
stuff. I was like, oh, wait a minute, I'm done with those.
Let me find out. I'm gonna have to get me a small joint, like
I think you should
a little
try.
thin joint. Like
Little
basket.
fit,
Was he tall or he was just like petite all over
no,
except
all
for his
over,
dick?
like 5'7", like 130 something pounds. I mean, I could, yeah, I was like 2 of him.
Hey, Philly. Y'all know y'all like y'all short niggas out there. There's a lot of y'all out there. Come to the show.
Come
I
on
want.
out.
I want to see something.
I'll give y'all great endorsements to go home with somebody.
I want to see something for a little
ladies,
bit.
ladies, they have the hammer.
And the beard. Bring your beard and your hammer. see what
Ugh,
see what we can do.
a beard and a hammer, child,
Jeez.
child. Yeah. So, whew, yeah, I got distracted because I was about to say something else when we were talking about that, and I totally got distracted.
Yeah, because you're thinking about calling that nigga. That's why.
Oh, I can't do that. I be in trouble. Yeah, no, that was a fun time in my life. But it really got distracted. When the other one that's really stood out to me in this young lady's list was information on where the clit is. And it's really astounding to me because a lot of men don't know female anatomy.
Wait. Okay. Wait a minute. So I'm I'm Auntie Brown Girl is here to help you guys right now. All right, girl. Have you run into any men that don't know where the clit is located?
I
Any?
personally have not,
Okay.
but
Because I wanted to make sure it wasn't an epidemic going on here.
I personally haven't, but I have heard stories and tales of such.
In all my years, and I've been fucking since I was 14, every man has known where the clit was. Now, the question is, they knew where it was located, but some of them were too aggressive with it. They didn't know what to do with it. They didn't realize that that one little teeny tiny button is only exclusively for pleasure. That's it.
Mhm.
You don't have to be rough with the bitch. She
You don't
gonna love you if you treat her right.
you don't have to gnaw on it.
Yeah. Stick it
It's
in
not
that
a cheap
gap.
toy, yeah. Yeah, we don't have to, do that. No, no,
Mm-mm.
no.
Yeah, ask your hey guys, here's another free gem. Ask your lady what she likes, how she likes her clit to be touched.
I think if people would just open their fucking mouths and ask that in general before, like, and then you don't have to be corny, like, "Hello, this is a questionnaire, and I just need to know," like, just make it a thing that you do together to
Yes.
explore and find out. Just don't assume that 'cause you did it with the last girl, the first girl, it's gonna work on this next girl.
Mm-hmm. And ladies, I'm gonna say this for us too. Like sometimes we need to ask these men, what do you like?
Yeah.
Because we all think, myself included, what I possess in between my legs has been dipped in platinum and priceless metals.
Uh-uh.
Is absolutely amazing. Like I call it the magical snapper. But
Uh-oh.
but my dude might not be like, he might, it's all right. I give it an 8 out of 10. I'm like, what, bitch? 8 out of 10? This is a 20. But if I didn't know how to please him, if I never bothered to ask him, like, I'm wasting good pussy.
Yep. And yeah, I think if you just have that conversation, which is one of the reasons why I feel like, I openly talk about sex because I feel like some people get so uncomfortable about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the only way you're gonna get what you want or find out what you want, right? Is if you one say what the fuck you want and what the fuck you like to somebody. It's no
Exactly.
space to be timid. I just could not imagine being unfulfilled
Not,
and
no.
not saying anything about it.
Yeah. Now, have you ever met somebody who, like, one of the things that you enjoy the most, and they were like, nah, I don't do that? Like, what do you do in those situations?
I'm somebody I don't like to be told no.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't like to say no to people. I always am like, I would be down to try it.
Okay.
So, so when it's a no is said to me, it's like it really burns me up. Um, I think it would depend on what it is because, and this is going into the next topic I wanted to talk about. Like I
Okay.
used to date somebody who is terrible at eating pussy. Terrible. I mean, terrible. But the stroke game was bomb, so it didn't bother me. I was just like, don't
Okay.
even fool with it, right?
Right.
So it just was like, all right, well, I know with this I'm good, so I'm good on that. And it wasn't that he didn't, he just wasn't good. So yeah, and I feel like because he perfected the stroke so much that he just never perfected that. I think with practice maybe, but I just didn't have time. I'm not in the business of teaching people. But I think it would depend on what it was that It was no, because that was the thing I was going to talk about. Like, what is a non-negotiable for you?
Mm-hmm. So, a non-negotiable for me. So I enjoy somebody eating the box, but like you said, if you're not good at it, but everything else is good, I can do without getting it often. But where you say you won't teach, I will teach you exactly how to eat my pussy.
Yeah, I guess like, in that regard, I just didn't want to because I was just like everything else is just so good. Like I just like I'm okay.
You weren't missing out on anything. That's
Yeah, I'm
why.
okay. Now,
Yeah.
definitely, if it was something where I really had chemistry and attraction towards you, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'd probably be a little bit more invested to want to.
Okay, that makes a difference then. So this is, if it's casual, then I'm not going to waste my time teaching you because you might take those skills that I just taught you and bring it elsewhere. And granted, I'm all for every woman having the best orgasm they can, but sometimes not at my expense, not at my time.
Fair enough. Fair
But
enough.
my no-go is, I don't like if a man was into anal, he wouldn't be into me.
Why?
Because I don't do anal.
You just don't?
I did it once and it was the worst experience ever in my life.
Okay, I'm getting real. Why?
So
Was it the actual act, or was it like you just didn't enjoy it?
the act was harsh and everything, and it could be because I was so young. I think I was like maybe 20. I wasn't 21 yet. And he was so big. It wasn't a lot of prep work or anything like that. Like I talked to some other people and they say, sometimes you got to prep. There wasn't a whole lot of lube or whatever. So it was just an uncomfortable experience. And then the next day, and this is TMI, the next day when I had to go to the bathroom, like when I had to take a shit in the morning, I almost had a heart attack on the toilet because it was so painful. And
wow.
I refused to take a shit for like another 2 days after that. I actually had to get my mom to give me an enema. And I couldn't tell her I couldn't take a shit because some man's dick was in my ass.
I was going to ask you, what did you say?
I was told, I was like, Mom. Well, I called my mom by her first name. I was like, Lynn. And I was like, I haven't been able to go to the bathroom in like 3 days. And then she's like, oh my God, why? I was like, I don't know. And I was like, I don't know if I have hemorrhoids or something. And so my mom, being the trooper that she is, she went and she got me, she went to the store, got an enema, she got the lube, put it in there so I can go to the bathroom because moms love us. She probably knew.
She's like, I know what this hoe was doing.
Yeah. Stop letting niggas run up in your ass, bitch, and you won't have that problem. So, and after that, I figured, I was like, if you can't tell somebody why you can't go to the bathroom, you don't need to be fucking in your ass.
Okay, I guess that is a fair experience. I will say, I did the same when I was younger, and it wasn't like that. It just was not enjoyable. Like, okay, what's the rave? Then, later in life, like I told you, I'm adventurous. I will try things, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, I'll try it with this person because it was just like I just knew something told me like try him,
Okay.
and the instrument was not. Most people would have ran from that because it was girthy and lengthy.
Oh.
Fucking incredible.
So every woman that I know says the same thing.
Incredible.
So did you have orgasm from it?
The most powerful I've ever had.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so it threw me like, whoa, what?
I didn't know it was possible.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, whoa, okay. So again, not something in the repertoire daily. But yeah, that was nice to a little spice, a little kick there.
Maybe I'll save it for my husband. Be a virgin somewhere when I get married.
But yeah,
I've been this for you all my life.
but I'll say like I've tried with people since then, and it wasn't the same. Like it wasn't like it's never been like painful, but it just wasn't the same.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. So it's never like a hard no for me.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna lead with it. But if But if I ever ran into that fool again, sure. Sign me up.
Right, right. I'm not gonna argue with that one.
Yeah,
Now, would you do a threesome?
so. Okay, here is the story behind this.
Okay.
So I feel like if I'm going to do that, I need to do it soon because time is passing me by in the sense that who I would do that experience with is starting to shrink and shrink and shrink.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's just because of where I am with boo thing. I don't think I
Ah.
could do one particularly with him because, bitch, that's my man, right?
Yeah, I was like, you have to look, because you don't have to explain to me.
But
Shit.
I did have it on I made a 30 for 30 list.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to pull it. I need to go find it to see what I actually did on the list. I don't know what I've done on it. But that was number one. And I never did it. Now I've had invitations to be the third.
Mm-hmm.
And one was just complete strangers, like at a wedding. And I was like, what? Like, I don't even know y'all. Which maybe if I was drunk enough.
I was like, you must have been fucking slaying at that wedding for strangers to ask you that.
I got a big old butt. I got a big butt. And the other time it was somebody who was like, I know them, but they're far away enough that it wouldn't have been uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I honestly felt like she had set up a situation where she had invited all these people to be there for her husband to kind of scout from.
Oh.
I believe was that situation.
Okay.
And yeah, a few people made, I think it was like two of us got an invitation.
Okay.
And then she ended up getting pregnant.
Oh shit. She
So
took
yeah, that
threesomes
one.
off the table.
Pretty much. And so I feel like that's the only way it's presented itself. I do have like I had two people in particular which I wish I had done it with.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back, like, oh, that probably would have been fun to do with them. But I commend people who do that on the regular with their partners because
Okay.
I don't think I'm built for that on the reg.
Not with my partner.
Mm-mm.
I have had one too.
Okay.
Three actually, but it was with the same two guys on three separate occasions. I've never had one with the female just because it just
Okay, so
wasn't my thing.
that is the aid. That's the day old debate because guys are always like, if it's with two guys, it's a
It's a
train.
train. They can think it's a train, but I called it a threesome because it was still three people.
So I have questions now. I have
Okay, go
follow-up
ahead.
questions. Did the two guys interact with each other?
No, they were on complete opposite ends of the spectrum. However, they were on complete opposite ends, but it was an easy and smooth transition on how things went. Like, one I'll be giving head to, the other one would go ahead and be eating me out and everything. Like, but I will say this: once the dick went in, the eating out part stopped.
Okay.
So it was very interesting on how it was done. And believe it or not, like I did it 3 separate times with these two men, and it wasn't the best sex of my life. But I can honestly say I was like, yeah, I tried it, I did it. It's something that I don't have to do again. Like it was exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm on one side I'm getting pleasured, on the other side I'm trying to pleasure, and then I found myself a couple times just being lazy and just letting the orgasms flow. Like I was like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be doing something, but like it was just like a constant 69 almost, kind of, and like I'm like 69 to me is the worst position ever created.
It is a challenge, yes.
Yes. So it was a lot, but I was like, but it wasn't enough for me to say, oh, I'll never do it again. But yeah, I think 3 times was enough. I've never been sexually attracted to women, so that's why that part never came up. But I know a friend of mine, he was like, but in the right situation, and he's like, you don't know what could happen. I was like, yeah, that's true. You never know what's going to happen in any kind of situations. And I was like, but I just know what my standard is. And now I'm 41, so I don't think
Okay.
I would, go at it again. Like I'm just a one round kind of gal these days,
Gotcha.
unless it's
Yeah.
great.
I'm always intrigued by the people who do the two males and it's not two females. Because you don't hear about those as often.
Oh, that's because girls don't. Because guys always talking about they got a train ran on them and everything. Like you won't like the man won't let the woman experience the beauty of what it is of two men completely into her and everything, and completely worried about her pleasure and what it's like to make sure that she has the best experience ever. Like both these men were very gentle. They were very considerate of me and everything. Like they men want to dirty that up because they want it to be
Mm.
the threesome that's ideal to them with two women, and it's all about them at that point. They get the physical experience of watching two women please each other or please them at the same time. Having, from what I understand, having two women suck your dick at the same time is the most amazing experience ever,
I
from
can
what I've
only
been told.
imagine what that feels like.
Yeah, like I would love to have two men eat my box at the same time, but I don't think it would ever happen. Um,
That's just so not fair.
it really isn't. And then because then I'm like in my head, like it would never happen because one, would I want to be in a threesome with a man that was bisexual?
So I'm gonna go and say no. And just because that's not attractive to me. Like if I turned and looked and saw a man, like, no, that would
No,
just in that setting for me, no. Like I've watched a gay porn before. And yeah, so but if I turned and looked and saw that, like I just don't think that would be anything that I would be sexually turned on by.
I wouldn't be able to get past it. Like, would I stop and just watch them? I probably would because I'm a
No, I
voyeur.
would just because out of like, oh my god, it's happening right here. But
Yeah, and I'm a
if
voyeur.
I
Like, I've been to like swingers clubs just to watch, and then I would go home with my significant other that came with me, and
so when you're at these swingers clubs,
mhm,
you never participated?
never participated with another couple. And I think that was just the agreement that the guy that I was with at the time, um, he was more like, we're both more like the voyeurs and everything. We like to watch and everything, and there were times that we would like to watch, and then we would go ahead and do something there.
Okay.
Because we like the idea of people watching us also, but the idea of sharing him because he was my man, but the idea of sharing him with another woman wasn't something that I was comfortable with. And I like the idea of him seeing another man inside of me while he's watching, he wasn't comfortable with it either. So we had those conversations before. So we never identified ourselves as true swingers because we wouldn't switch partners or
So
anything like
you were
that.
more so just going to watch.
Hmm.
What would you do? Like, would you just like sit in a corner and like sip a drink, or what were you doing? Because
So,
how does
so
this go down? Set the scene for us.
okay, so on this one particular place that we went, it was actually someone's home and everything. So they had like different rooms and everything that you can go into. And we would just kind of walk around at first, like it's almost like a regular party at first. We had our drinks. I smoke weed. He does not. So I had, and I call myself a lady because I only smoke joints. Uh, so I had my joint, I had my tequila and everything, and we're just walking around, and then we saw a particular couple that was to us both very attractive,
Okay.
and just like how they were pleasing each other was beautiful and everything, like their faces, they were so into each other, and it was like it's very passionate. And so we did sit, we sat on the edge of the bed and we watched them.
Ah.
Yeah, like occasionally I would reach my hand out and touch, but it wouldn't be anything more than that.
And because like I know before, like when I've looked these up, like couples were one price, single women were another price, and single men are like the most expensive. Was that
Hmm.
the same?
Well, I never paid anything, so I don't know how he
Yeah,
took
because I
care of
always
that
think
part.
couples. Okay, yeah, I always say like couples are like $5 or $10. Like they were very cheap, if I
Hmm.
remember.
Yeah, I don't know because I never with that guy I was with. I never opened my purse for anything. He would take care of all the
Come
stuff.
on,
So,
hey.
so I don't know how it went down. But and that was the first person I ever did those kind of things with. It's actually been the last person that I've gone to those type of parties with too, and that was maybe about 6 years ago, if that. Might have been 5 years ago.
Okay. Well, we've come to the part of the show where we do the breakdown. And I am going to say one word,
Okay.
and then you are going to say the first thing that comes to mind. It could be a noise, it could be a sound, one word, a phrase, just the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay. I'm scared.
Alrighty? Philly,
Boonie live show.
fat guys,
Not for me.
big dicks,
Love them.
vibrators,
A necessity.
swinging,
Ah,
pleasure,
everything.
sex.
Important.
See, it wasn't too scary.
Nah.
You were swift. You were quick with it. So, Erica, this is awesome. I hope everyone listening is like, oh my God, they see how open you are. They're excited to meet you at Boonie Breakdown Live in Philadelphia. We're gonna have a good ass time.
Oh
I
yeah.
I am I am planning things because I feel like this is my first show, not in Baltimore. Philly's my second home because I went to Temple. I'm gonna show out. It's
Oh,
gonna be ratchet.
I'm excited, yo. Like
We're-
I'm so excited. I just bought a dress and everything to wear with some
I want a
chucks.
dress. Yeah, I usually always wear chucks. I think one show I didn't. I think I wore like platform Oxfords, but I'm probably gonna have on chucks again.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have
I
chucks.
probably didn't wear chucks in the one in November just because it was in the fall. So, but yeah, I usually have on chucks. So yeah. So you still have not gotten your ticket. The time we recorded this, it was about 20 tickets left. Hopefully, when you're listening to this, there are not 20 tickets left. And of course, the link is in your show notes for you to get your tickets. So, Erica, if you could tell everyone where they can find you on social media and on the internet.
So everybody can find me on. I mostly live on Instagram, so that is the Brown Girl Experience LLC, and it's the underscore Brown Girls all one word underscore experience underscore LLC. Or you can always find me on my website, which is www.browngirlexperience.com. If you still live on Facebook, you can find me under Erica Butler there.
Perfect. So, again, we're going to have a bomb ass time in Philly. It's in a week out from the time you're listening to this episode. So, grab those tickets. And, Erica, thank you so much. I'll see you in Philly.
All right, see you, girl.
I want to thank Erica of the Brown Girl Experience for coming on and doing an episode. I hope after listening to this episode, you are excited and you see how ratchet that she can be. And if you're still on the fence, you're going to go head over to theboonieBreakdown.com/live and cop one of the last tickets remaining for my first show on the road in Philadelphia this Saturday, August 10th. Can't wait to see you guys there, and I can't wait to meet Erica in person. If you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts, or any app that you listen to your favorite podcasts on. Don't forget to leave those reviews too. You might just hear your review on the next episode. Follow us on social media. Share the episode with those you love, those you don't love, those you fucking hate. I don't make those pretty images for nothing, okay? Have a dope ass week. I mean it. Thank you for listening. And remember, the ratchet in me always honors the ratchet in you. See you in Philadelphia.